And welcome back to Central Valley Talk. We're here today talking to people in our community, doing good things for our community, being involved in our community, and showing us how we could have a better community. Our next guest is actually a school board member, Valerie Davis. Welcome, Valerie.
Thank
Now,
you.
I put on their trustee area, I forgot to put 3.
Okay.
Trustee area 3, right?
Yes.
And that's kind of the Sunnyside area.
Yes, it is.
And you must live out that way.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. And you've been on this board. Are you the longest serving member?
I am now.
You are.
Yes.
And you're a young person
came...
still.
Thank you. I like to say I'm in my late 50s. I'm 63. So.
60. I'm 63. Wow. Now, your kids went to Fresno schools?
Yes. My children all went through the schools, and it took me 21 years to get out of elementary school. And now my grandchildren are in the same school.
All over again.
Yeah.
Same school.
Yeah, same school.
Yeah.
So I'm recycled.
Okay. Now, you started the school board, was it 18 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
And you've probably seen some changes.
Yes.
I mean, even just how we did things. Were you internet heavy back then, or is that kind of, not really, huh?
No, not at all. And broadband has always been a challenge for us. Some of our families don't have that. So hotspots, and then turning our schools into actual cell towers, so the kids can pick up the internet 5 miles radius.
At home from
right,
the school.
Right.
Wow.
Yes.
What big changes. Now, you took us through COVID.
Mm-hmm.
You were part of the board, and you guys don't know exactly where you're going, but you muddled through, and you guys did a pretty good job, I thought.
Well, we had to do what we had to do according to the state and the governor guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was just gut-wrenching, you know, to turn it off on, what was that, March 19th, you know, and board up our schools and lock them down. And, you know, Sunnyside High School is the hub of our community.
That's the newest high
Sunnyside.
school,
It's
right?
our newest high school, and it's now 21, 22 years old.
I can't believe that. Oh, my goodness.
But to drive by and know that our kids are locked out, not because of something they did or we did, it's just something just out of our control. It was gut-wrenching. It was really hard, really hard.
Now, is it over, or you guys still have protocols in place for COVID?
We still have what we call an online school, K through 12. We have 3,000, 4,000, 3 or 4,000 students, K through 12, in it, but the state won't pay us the ADA unless they can prove that the children are on task, online, on doing their lessons. So we monitor them very closely,
Right.
and if they're not making their grade and they're not responding well to the online instruction, then we shoo them back to class and tell them, you know, this is not a viable option for you,
Right.
and your parents have to understand that. And if they choose to charter school or homeschool, that's their option also.
They have those options now. A lot of more options than when you first
Right,
started, I would
right,
imagine.
yes.
Now, again, not an old person, but the longest serving school board member, your experience has to be invaluable to the district. I'll say that. You don't have to say that. I'll say her service is invaluable to the district. She's seen the district through a lot of things. Valerie Davis, trustee for the Sunnyside area. Now, I want to ask you about the community around not just Sunnyside High School, but all the high schools. You've seen some changes. More homeless people, more street people.
Well, those are always challenges. When we were locked down, the homeless would move on to our campuses, and we'd have to have our staff, you know, our security staff, go shoo them away and clean up after them. So it's been difficult. And even around, say, Mayfair Elementary, there was a shooting, and it was someone that was living right by the canal. So, you know, it's tough.
Right. Now, speaking of shootings, I don't even like to bring the subject up, but when you started this, there weren't really school shootings going on. This is kind of a phenomenon that's become a daily thing. I would imagine you have protocols in place at each school.
Yes, we do. And we, this last foolishness that was happening, we understand to be a TikTok challenge.
Oh, boy.
Right. So if there was some way we could shut down a firewall from 8 o'clock in the morning to 3 or 4 in the afternoon to just cut that distraction, I would be happy in investing in it.
Now, one school talked about no phones at school. Do you think that's a viable thing?
Well, our principal, I guess he did it when he was at a middle school,
Okay.
at Tenaya Middle School, and so he was going to try it at Bullard High School. But there has to be a community buy-in. It has to be, something that the parents and the students want for themselves.
Do students actually take their phone out and tapping it during the class and,
Oh, yeah. Well, there was a time when we didn't have all of our devices. We didn't have computers for every child. We didn't have, access like that, class set of computers. So we would tell the kids, bring your own device, bring your own, computer. And so, since then we have, managed to put a computer in every child's hand. So.
Oh, really? Every kid has
Yes,
a computer
every
now?
child.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you guys. Good for Valerie Davis. I'm telling you, she's the best trustee we've had in years, and you're
Well,
going to be
thank
around
you.
long. By the way, there's an election coming up,
Yes.
and you'll have some challengers. But sometimes it's good. It gives you a chance to come on shows like this and just talk about what's going on. And I'm very impressed with things you've told me just in this short visit here. That I can't even now. Do people vote by district, or is it a district-wide vote?
Prior to 2010, it was a whole town. You would have, school board members run from their community,
Right.
but the whole town would vote on
Would vote.
them. And the biggest voting block, of course, is the Bullard community. To get on the mayor, to be the mayor of Fresno, you have to go through the Bullard community.
Yep.
But 2010, I believe it was MAPA, was making Voter Rights Act, and they alleged that people of color couldn't get on boards and couldn't get on in councils and boards, and so they were hoping to sue Fresno Unified, but we pivoted on a dime, and in 2010 we switched all of our communities to voting trustee by trustee
district,
area.
by trustee
They're not the
district.
true feeder patterns. Like there's 11 schools that feed into Sunnyside High School, and they overlap. Our schools overlap.
Now, football. Sunnyside have a football team.
Yes, every week for the last 3 weeks, I've fed the team,
Nice.
and they help me with my campaign, and I flip the coin, try to give my team the edge.
You give your team the edge, right? Sunnyside High. I love Fresno area football. By the way, are all Fresno Unified students from the city of Fresno, or does Fresno Unified go out of the city a little bit?
Well, they're all from Fresno Unified.
Okay, I know Clovis Schools has a lot of the city of Fresno. I don't know if any other cities fall in Fresno Unified. So
No, but in the Sunnyside area, there's Fresno Unified, Clovis Unified, and Sanger Unified, kind of at the.
and some people are in the county,
corner.
not in the
Right,
city, that
right.
are in that area too. But it's a rich heritage. I know that Roosevelt was the rich heritage for
Right.
years in Fresno. Now Sunnyside, that cut into that a lot. But Sunnyside High School is such a beautiful school, and so many great students coming out of there. Now I talk a lot during these interviews. I don't let you say anything, but you're actually running. What do you want our voters or our viewers to know?
I want our viewers to know that Fresno Unified is on the right track. Of course, we have our challenges, and of course, COVID handed us just tremendous challenges. But we were succeeded. We were, 3 years to 5 years, our test scores were going up prior to the pandemic. And the 2 years our kids were shut out of classrooms and our teachers didn't have access to them the way they do every day, it really put a hurt on our kids, not just academically, but socially, emotionally, and just the isolation of it. But proof positive and a validation of where Fresno Unified is going is that significant $20 million donation we got the other day. At first we thought it was maybe a hoax and some phishing because they sent us some email that said, congratulations, you'll be the recipient of $20 million. And it's like, right. Sometimes things are too good to be true.
Now, who is that from?
That's from Mackenzie Scott.
And what will it be used for? Was it earmarked?
She gave us $20 million, no strings attached. But we are going to probably put it in our foundation and use it for scholarships.
Nice.
Every year for scholarships, we've been able to give $100,000, $150,000, and it's mainly from employees that donate $10 a month out of their check, and then we have a big luncheon, and we have sponsors, and we give out maybe 35, 40 scholarships.
Possible with a big donation like that in the foundation, even maybe just the interest, and the
Right.
thing could go on forever.
That's what we're looking at.
that's good.
4% interest is $800,000 a year.
Yeah, that's more than you've been giving, right?
Oh yes, way more.
Now, I want to go back to something you said before COVID. Test scores were going. I remember when that was happening. Test scores were going up. I was very proud of President Unified at that point because people always kind of put it down, or it is just a tough demographic there, and they were really going up. And I hope you think you guys maybe are back on track.
Well, this summer we did tremendous work. We usually have 11,000 kids in summer school. This year we had 36,000.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
So, offering academics and then our academies afterwards were fabulous for our community. So 36,000 children out of the 74,000. That's almost half of them.
Almost half of them.
They
went to
were
summer
9
school.
hours in school.
Academies and
That's
stuff
it.
like that. That is very good. Well, our guest is Valerie Davis. I want to say one more thing. You have the most experience. I can't imagine if COVID had come and there were no experienced school board members, brand new people. It's good to get new blood and stuff, but when the crisis comes, the experience is really what counts for a school district, and I'm really glad you were there.
Thank you.
Last thoughts for our viewers?
Well, I think that we're going in a direction we need to go, and I'm tremendously thankful for the donation that we did receive. And 10 years ago, the Farbers were very generous with $1 million donation
That
to
seemed
our
big
kids.
then, yeah.
Yes.
If somebody wants to get involved, I'm here more to talk to you about the school district and the good things you're doing there, but you do have a campaign. So in all fairness, let's just say if somebody wants to get involved or help you, or will you be doing some precinct walks, or is there a way people get involved?
Yes, I've already done some precinct walks. I've got some scheduled every weekend and during the week even. And I'm Valerie Davis in District 3.
Valerie Davis in District 3. Now, there's less than a month, right?
Yes, 26 days?
But who's
27?
counting, right? So how do they get a hold of you? Is there a website or a way to reach you to get involved in the campaign?
You can reach me at ValerieSunnyside@gmail.com.
ValerieSunnyside@gmail.com. That's all you need to know.
That's it.
It's time to get involved in a campaign. I would say a school board is probably the most important campaign you could get involved in. Valerie Davis, I support her. I endorse her. I want her to stay on the school board if you'll stay for a while. I know you've been there a while and you'd probably like to pass it, but right now is not the time to go anywhere. Right now it's not time to change horses. Let's get the experienced people in there, and let's get beyond this crisis of COVID and other things that have been on our way. And so help Valerie Davis get elected.
Thank you.
You honor me by coming. I'm doing all the computer stuff, operations here myself. I forgot I got to click on a few things here to get us out of this, but we will be back here on Central Valley Talk with more right after this.
All right.